mobile L stock trades. Hope everyone Sunday's doing well. Just wanted to say, come in, say hi. How's everyone doing? And yeah, it's been a while since we had a nice face-to-face talk. I just finished off a couple some exams. Now just chilling by the water here. You can see here, relax, nice and enjoyable here. This is in Arizona, and yeah. Yeah, so saw a good comedy show yesterday. If you guys know Pierce Morgan, there's a guy who was on his show, his most viral video, Pierce Morgan. His name is Bassem Youssef. I was able to see his comedy show, and he was pretty funny. He was pretty hilarious. Egyptian comedian. He actually used to be a cardiothoracic surgeon. So that was really fun. But overall, talking about markets, well, what are my expectations? The Feds are going to be making their decision this week, so I'm going to be looking at the Feds, Federal Reserve. JOLTS report, I believe, is going to come out. Looking at the unemployment, unemployment is at its historical lows, pretty much near it's there. So I'm going to be looking at that, seeing, what's the break in this wonderful economy of ours. I'm sitting here right now, and I'm looking at all these houses down here, and I must say, there are like different types of folks that are in the United States economy now. There are folks that want to leave, but they can't because they have a 2 to 3% mortgage rate, and they don't want to move because if they move, then they'll get a 6% mortgage rate. There are people that want to have a house, but it's like 6%, 5, 6%. I think now 7, 8% mortgage rates. So it's really, really, really hard right now regarding the housing. And it's either rent prices must go up or housing. So that part of the economy is definitely in a very tough position. Then you got commercial real estate that's even in a more shittier position. Oh yeah, I see the shades. I'll take them off, but it got the sun here. See that sun? Hopefully I didn't blind you guys. The kind of the overall economy right now, I think personally the Federal Reserve is going to come out pretty hawkish. And I think the markets is pricing that in. We may be headed into a recession. We don't know. But all I do know for sure is small caps are going to be rising. And the question is when. And the biggest threat to small caps is interest rates. It's the federal funds rate. That's the biggest threat to small caps. And right now, Clover needs to do what Clover needs to do, which is prioritizing profitability. So it's just honestly a waiting game. Just a nice, beautiful waiting game. We're going to relax, enjoy, and wait, and enjoy the process and enjoy these prices that we have right now. I'm going to be doing some movements around the market right now in terms of reporting to you guys doing our research. I've only been able to kind of do research for myself and give as much as I can for the Al Stock Trades platform we have. But we're going to be going ahead and doing some videos on that to help democratize our research platform and just kind of give you an opinion of what, I've been in the markets for over 10 years just to kind of give you an understanding of, how I see the stock market. It's so funny. You want me to show you something funny? So this community has a library, right? So let me show you this community here, okay? So this is a wonderful community in Gilbert, Arizona, right? Wonderful community. And I was looking at the library here. And here's their little library book. And I saw my textbook here. And I don't know what these kids, this is on my textbook. I don't know what these kids did to this book. But I don't know if they ate the book. I don't think eating the book is going to help, right? I don't know. They just ate the crap out of this book. And I don't know, maybe they're trying to do osmosis, absorb the knowledge of Warren Buffett. But yeah, they ate it. Maybe I think one of their dogs or something. they gave it to their dogs to read. Sounds like it. Yeah. So I mean, the inside looks good. There's some highlighted stuff they highlighted. So, but yeah. Well, there it is. Al Stock Trades out book. So, that's a shameless plug there. But yeah, there's the book. So I found that to be a bit of funny. I was like, oh, well, look at that. Yeah, that's my book. Hopefully, we got one smart dog out there that knows to be fearful when others are greedy, and to be greedy when others are fearful, which is what we're experiencing and going to experience in the markets for quite some time. And I do see that Newsom did meet with China here, Xi Jinping, which is honestly one of the first times. It shows you kind of where. I think Newsom is going to be a future presidential candidate for sure. And he's setting himself up that way for sure. And if he can do that, then potentially he could run for president. And other people have mixed opinions of that. But what we all both can agree on is I find it interesting how people will set themselves up politically as chess to maneuver these things. But overall, it's a waiting game. I'm waiting for the beginning of in the beginning of November 10 or 11 for the quarterly earnings report for Clover, and we'll see what happens. And we're going to be obviously supporting you guys with that and talk about that and see where things are headed. But this is honestly exciting. I mean, what more to know a company and to follow a company that others don't believe in, and once it does start getting better, then we can start selling some of these shares and offloading them off to the optimists, so they can get their 5-10% gain while we take the rest. So that's gonna be fun. Again, it's a very patient game. It's almost like fishing, right? It's almost if you were to fish down here. You gotta be very patient, right? Patient because you're in Arizona trying to fucking fish, right? And you just have to kind of wait for your opportunity when prices get to their intrinsic value. So once the Federal Reserve cuts interest rates, which I'm hoping they'll do in the next 2 years, could be even 3, we don't know. Once they cut their interest rates, then guess what happens to the discount rate? The discount rate goes down. And for people that are in our Mastering Stock Market course, if you go to their intrinsic value calculation and go to any stock and keep decreasing the discount rate, what you'll find is the price actually goes up because you're discounting the performance of future free cash flows. And if you decrease the discount rate, then you are essentially expecting more cash flow to come to you in the present. So that's where we're headed right now. I'm looking what the feds are going to say, but it's pretty much going to be the same old thing until earnings. And that's about it. Someone told me to kind of talk about my expectations for earnings, and my expectations are pretty simple. I want to see, are they getting closer to profitability? The 3.5 star versus 3 star. What are they going to do? What are changes they're going to make? And are they expecting to do better than 3.5 stars in 2025 post when they hear the information for 2026 and 2027, right? So these are the kind of things that I am looking towards, and yeah, it's about it, guys. I mean, it's pretty simple investing, right? You just wait 3 months and relax and enjoy. I mean, you guys can easily there's some trading, can have some opportunity trading. People can buy right now and then sell at $1.30, $1.40, because we know earnings, if it's good, it's going to go up another 10, 20, 30%. And you got to play that game, especially if you know the intrinsic value is going to get better in the future. And it depends what stage you're in your life. For someone who just wants to mess around and play, they already have $20-30 million and they just want to make some money so they can go to Monte Carlo for the weekend or go to Las Vegas and enjoy. They can say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and put $500,000 or $1 million at 95 cents, 91 cents. And then I'm going to wait for 30%, and that's $300,000. And I'm going to take that $300K and I'm going to go blow it in Los Angeles or Las Vegas or whatever. So there's folks like that. There's different stages of where you are in life, right? Um, you know what I mean? For me, at least, I'm more of a long-term investor, more, thinking of the future. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Especially, I'm gonna start a family soon, and kids, saving for the college. Um, Already got 3 dogs. One still pees whenever they get excited. That's a Yeah, I know you like to be on that stage, right? Just yeah. And the thing is, if you're if you're not in the United States, there's a way. But if you're in the United States, guys, um, the world is your oyster. The world is your oyster. You could do anything you want in this country. So the world is your oyster, and once earlier you figure that out, the better. So, the world's your oyster, and you can accomplish anything you want, right? So, yeah, if you want to become a millionaire, you definitely can. What differentiates a millionaire and a non-millionaire is, the 0.001%, right? 1%. Only 1% of people that are watching this video um, are gonna become millionaires, right? That's just the way it is, and maybe we might be skewed, and there might be a positive skew to people that are watching this video because of the financial information and literacy that maybe it might be more, right? Because it just so happens to be that people that end up working for Warren Buffett, uh, if it was all just a flip coin in a game, then why do people that follow Graham's Doddsville from, Warren Buffett's, Benjamin Graham's Intelligent Investor, all became rich? It's not coincidence if they all practice the same philosophy of value investing. That's the after the preface section of the Intelligent Investor book. There has to be some reasonable explanation, and it so happens to be intrinsic value and looking at the future free cash flow companies and discounting back and seeing if something is overvalued or undervalued. If you want to be a millionaire, you have to have a 10-year plan, 15-year plan. You have to have a 20, 30-year plan. Most people don't want that because you don't even know if you're going to be alive tomorrow. So it's a give and take. There's a beautiful story, I think I've told it to you guys, of a rich man who got stranded on an island for a couple weeks. There's a fisherman, felt bad for the rich man, so, he gave him some fish. And the rich man was like, holy shit, this is the best fish I've ever tasted in my life. So started paying attention to the fisherman, and the fisherman was going out there doing his little fishing and goes back to his family, makes the fire, watches the sunset, drinks whatever the local alcohol is in that island, and enjoys the family, dances a little bit, eats, has fun with his wife, and then, goes to sleep and starts it over the next day. So the rich man was like, man, your fish is so good. You got to dominate here. There's not one fishing like you. You're the only fisherman here. We know what you should do is you should make a bunch of boats, build them, start your fishing company, get all the fish here, and then start selling. And the fisherman was like, why? Why do I want to do that? That's a lot of work. He's like, whoa, no, it's very clear why you want to do that, the rich man says. You do that for 20, 30 years, and then later, when you're 60, you can take all that money and you get to enjoy it with your family. You see? It's simple. And the fisherman was like, well, I'm already doing that now. Why do I want to wait for 30 years to do that? I might even not be alive by then. And let alone my family may not even be here. I think that's a stupid idea. So the moral of the story is sometimes wealth could be the answer, could it not be? So yeah, you might want to be in that position, right? As a Canadian, we make like a quarter. I am a 9-year call lawyer and make less than Big Law than a first year green, no experience lawyer down there. Yeah, exactly. The United States is quite interesting, especially the same thing with medicine. Like if you look a neurosurgeon across the world, it doesn't make sense. It's a broken healthcare system, I'd say. Um, Definitely, I think it needs to change. Same with law too. Law is just crazy here in the United States. Lawyers make a killing here, especially if they have an entrepreneurial perspective. But overall, guys, that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about in terms of just kind of the perspective of things. And, you know, I'm the person that wants to wait 10, 20 years, right? That's just who I am. Wait 20, 30, but I'm enjoying the time as I go. I like the challenge, right? I definitely like the challenge. Yeah, I want you to think back to the iPhone or Android that you're using right now, or the house that you're in, or the car that you have. In the beginning, when you first got that, I'm sure you were excited, right? I'm sure you were so happy. Even if you multiply what you have by 10, you're still going to feel the same thing. If you're in a $20, $30 million home, there's going to be a point, it could be a year, 2 years, you're going to sit down and you're going to be like, it's just a home, right? So what I'm trying to say is, you know, it really is true. Money and material doesn't really buy you happiness. It does get you power, and it gives you the ability to escape Maslow's hierarchy of needs to self-actualization. If you don't know what the hell that means, I should recommend you watch a YouTube video after this and Google Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I think it'll be a great read for Sunday. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys. Just wanted to say hi, pop in, see what's going on with everyone. And we're going to get back to our scheduling on videos and then our one-on-one calls with the group on Stock Terminal. My apologies for all the delay. It's just been so much. I'm about to submit some papers for the AANS, be in Chicago, I believe in May, for more research. And you know, it's hard balancing, medical school, neurosurgery, getting into neurosurgery research. So I appreciate you guys kind of with me on this journey. But I promise you that once I, have more time, and I will have more time. We'll definitely, really make it worth your while in terms of giving more information, because there's so much information to talk to you guys about. But sometimes it's important to not just overburden, because then you'll have like a Meet Kevin problem where you have all this information and it doesn't mean anything. The biggest one I like to look at is the SEC 13D and G filings of institutional investors to see what they're doing, almost like a pH test to see where we're at right now. What are they selling? Are they buying? What are they buying? So we'll do some analysis of that, and I'll get you updates on what they're doing. And I think there's a lot of opportunity to be made. Sadly, medicine's kind of a blessing, but also a curse. I'm missing some of these opportunities because I'm not able to do my due diligence thoroughly on other companies. But it's a give and take. It's a give and take. Let's see here. You should go to the USDN. What's USDN? I'm sorry. DN. What does that stand for? Double negative? I don't know if that. Yeah, it's unfortunate for Canada. I have a Canadian story. I was in Toronto, and one lady was like, "You should come down here and live." I was like, "But you guys don't make a lot of money." I was just joking, right? Because Canada, the currency and all that. So she's like, "Listen, I'd rather be surrounded by a bunch of poor people that have big hearts like Canadians than assholes like Americans that just care about money." That was one of the smartest, young girls I've ever seen, in her early 20s. That's very smart. Not bad. There's more to life than money, right? Just look at other people, look at Africa, look at the Middle East, look at Gaza right now, look at Israel, look at the genocides happening in Africa, look at Ukraine, right? there's a lot of issues happening right now in the world. There's more to life than money. I know this is a stock market channel, right? We're going to press the stock market stuff and investing. But there also, I hope I can give you guys a balance, because there's a little pathology, a little kind of cocoa-ness going on with people on Webull and StockTwits. They're just on there 24/7. Don't do that. It's not good for your mental. How do you expect to grow if you're on a platform like that? Always, you got to feed the plants of your philosophy, of your spirituality. Your spirituality. You have to maintain equanimity. It's very difficult to do that if you're consistently on these platforms. So it's good to check out sometimes and just kind of listen to nature, which is what I'm doing now. Just listen to nature and think. I don't have a lot. This is a luxury for me. I don't have a lot of time for this, but something that I want to. Yeah, Cielo, it's true. I am dating someone in Florida, and every time I visit, I feel drained from the aggression. People are less open and friendly down there than up here. It's a shame. It's a shame. And it's unfortunate because if you go down to the upper classes of the United States, there's such a class system. And it's so interesting. I find this so psychologically funny. If you look at Phyllis Zimbardo's Stanford prison systems and how the prisoners and guards, within like 3 days, the guards became real guards. They started beating the freaking prisoners. They're both students. And I find it so interesting because I want you to do me a favor. Okay? The next time you all take out your wives, or all the wives out there taking out their husbands, because hey, girls can be players too, right? You know that song? I want you to go to a really nice area. Let's say Beverly Hills. And I want you to go to the servers or the hostess or the people that work there. I want to say, I'm not going to say 9 times out of 10. I'm not going to say 50%. I'm going to say 60 to 70% of the time, the people that are there, that work there, that don't make what the rich make in that area, treat the poor and the poor people that come there a lot worse. Because they find themselves that since they work there and they're in that environment, they're better than X, Y, and Z. And I find that such a psychological twist because they make what, $30,000, $40,000, $15 an hour, and they're in that same social group, but they believe that that's how the rich people are, and they believe that you're supposed to treat other people that are in that category like assholes. When in reality, that's not how the rich work. Because Amazon, if you don't remember Jeff Bezos' video, go Google it. It's about customer service. Internet schminternet, right? It's all about customer service. And it's all about how you treat people. And it's all about the art of the deal. And how to negotiate. And how to advocate. And how to get your special interest in line. But at the same time, make sure all parties are respected. And make sure all special interests are in line together. So later, once the Mastering Stock Market course is created, and all of this is created, because it's a very difficult game, because I could have just teach you guys this, but I need to give you the freaking data, and the data is where it's at. Once we build out this mission, and we are going to be increasing prices, for after Black Friday. In fact, speaking of Black Friday, we are going to start our Black Friday sale in the next 24 hours. It's going to be a big sale. Prices will never be this low. And then we're going to do price increases. But after mastering is over, we're going to create a section. And it's going to be kind of like, Trump, and I don't mean to offend all the, people that don't like Trump, but you got to learn you got to take the good from people and then put the bad in the toilet. It's all about the art of the deal. Because here's the problem. You can learn about stocks all day. You can learn about financial literacy all day, but if you don't increase your income, if you don't know how to negotiate your salary, if you don't know how to make more money and squeeze, more out of, your profession, you're wasting your time. So we're going to be doing more of that, doing more about negotiations and how to essentially get what you want in a world, and how to basically go to someone who wants to sell a house, but instead of saying, you know what, let's say someone's selling a house for $1 million. And let's say, not a house, just selling something for $1 million. And I say, you know what, can you do 700,000, 600,000? Of course they're going to say F off, right? That's 40% off, right? So what you can say is, I know this, my apologies if I'm so difficult to work with, but, what can I do? What can I do? And how can I work with you? Like, what can I do to be able to negotiate a reasonable price for both me and you, to where we both come out as winners, right? Because then what's going to happen is that's going to put the person's perspective in already creating a deal with you, already imagining it. And we already know what you can conceive, what you can, what you can achieve, right? Same thing with interviews. The last question of an interview, you can say, they say, any questions do you have for us? Most people, 50, 60% that don't get the job, they're like, no, thank you, appreciate it, bye. Or you can say, so given the historical amounts of employees that you hired, if, let's say, I get hired, and a year from now, we do an evaluation over the hire to determine if it was a good move or not, what are criterias would you look at that you would say this was a good hire, and not just met expectations, exceeded expectations? I would like to know that so I can align your mission with mine. Okay? You see what I'm saying? You see that? That person will stand out more than the other person. No, I don't have any questions, because it shows that you're proactive. It shows that you're trying to align. Anyway, I saw your comment. I love that. I love you're planning to order your next course. I appreciate that. The reason why I haven't created it yet is because I'm doing it now, right? I'm doing it. If you look at my story, I've tutored thousands of people, but I'm doing it. And once I'm done, I'm gonna create the course. Just like with the mastering, I'm not doing real estate yet because I'm learning it, right? And before we bring it to you, I want to make sure everything is polished. My apologies for the mastering. I was just gonna teach you guys the information, but then Morningstar gave me the middle finger, not just me, everybody, every value investor, and they stopped giving that data. So we have to make it ourselves, which is fine. We're gonna, it is what it is. But we're doing it, right? And I do like your comment. You don't grow when you're comfortable. You don't grow. And I have had a couple people that go into the mastering, and some people are like, man, I don't want it. This is a lot of work. What do you expect? This is not a get rich quick scheme. This is a mindset. This is a mindset change. You gotta wash out all the shit that you learned from high school and elementary school and all the bullshit that you learned, because that bullshit will make you average. That's propaganda bullshit that they teach. So you can make $50,000, $60,000 and be okay with that, right? That's bullshit. Right? While the Wall Street and all these kingpins make millions of dollars, billions every freaking year, right? So, and it all starts with education. It all starts with the tongue. It all starts here. But also it all starts here in the heart. Because I'll leave you with this comment, and then I'll zip out of here. And this is what Denzel Washington said. This is not my words. I wish it was, because goddamn, they're good words. Okay? Goddamn, they're good words. Anything from the heart is God's proof sent beforehand to indicate that it's already yours already. So go out there and get it. I'm going to repeat that again. Anything good in the heart is God's proof sent beforehand to indicate that it's already yours. My mission is to democratize financial literacy. I don't need to do that. I'm good with my medicine. I'm doing pretty damn good. But it's in my heart. It's not fair that when I was doing the nonprofit, I saw hundreds of thousands of people lined up. They didn't have food. It's in my heart. And anything good from that, you got to pursue. So if you're comfortable right now, and if you're scared to fail, then you're doing life wrong. Because let me tell you a little secret. All the people that you're scared to fail around, that you're scared, that you think that, oh, what happens if they think I'm stupid? Guess what? In 100 years from now, they're going to be dead. And so are you. So go out there and live your life, man. Go out there and grab life by the fucking balls, right? Go out there professionally and don't hurt anybody while doing your dreams. And make the world a better place as you do it, as what I'm doing, right? But go out there and live this beautiful life. Now, if you're in other parts of the world, especially in dictatorship, I'm sorry. But if you're in a free country, the free smell of freedom, this beautiful freedom we have here, called the United States of America, there should be no excuse why you're not successful. There should be no excuse. Okay? Let's read the comments here and then I'll zip out. You don't grow any comfortable. They don't want retail investors to get smart on them. Absolutely not. Have you thought of partnering with Economic Ninja for the real estate program? I'll double check to see. But if you're part of our mastering, then you guys know that what my affiliations are when it comes to real estate. You guys know I'm not like I will diverge in the future, but when it comes to real estate, I lead less than what I actually know. I know a lot, but again, I'm not a master, right? To become a master, you need to put more than 10,000 hours into something. That's kind of like the little cute little sentence. But for folks that are in our mastering, they know exactly when it comes to real estate, golf courses, and whatnot. But I will take a look at it. I'll take a look at the channel. But yeah, glad to be on this mission for you guys. And hopefully we all can learn together and learn more. And I do enjoy your questions. I feel like academically, they do definitely help. Kind of with my brain too. It's nice. But hey, love you guys. See ya. And yeah, and enjoy the Black Friday sale. It should go down 24 hours. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be pretty big. It's gonna be huge. We're talking $500 plus off. We're talking pretty damn huge. And then prices will go up to $2,000 for the lifetime. You get lifetime data. I mean, that's I'll cover the data for the rest of your life. But overall, that's all I have for you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.